All right, welcome everyone to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your host, DB Smiley, and I am joined tonight by the wonderful Chloe Kitten. She loves her couch. Yeah, getting excited for this A East matchup here. It's a delayed Week 1 match between ReGen Phoenix and Baby on Board. Baby on Board featuring several players from last season's Careless Badgers who ended up having to drop out late after being off to a pretty good start. So this will be an interesting game to see how they come back. If there's any rust to shake off, or anything within that range. ReGen Phoenix, this is their third season in A East. They have barely missed playoffs both times, so certainly looking to improve on that this season as we get underway. On the other side, just making sure I have all the names in. I do. All right. So we should be good to go. Take a look at the maps. We can see that ReGen Phoenix banning out banning out Dragonshire and Volskaya. Dragonshire and Tomb. Baby on Board banning out BOE and Volskaya. ReGen Phoenix, or I should say Baby on Board won the toss, took first pick. ReGen Phoenix taking us to Brax's holdout. And I actually just did a double check to make sure we're not on Brax's outpost, because that has happened before. Indeed, Chloe is very resident sleeper. She's a very, very sleepy girl. She is so cute. We adopted her last August. She's gotten so big, and she's just a very, very sweet little kitten. Stuart and Colby are upstairs. I got a new perch today, and they both love it, so they've both been sleeping in it, which means they haven't been down here. Sad, but Chloe's been keeping me company. She's a very good girl. But looks like we are getting set. Should be jumping in. In fact, here we go. We're gonna jump right in now. There we go. I was kind of nervous something was wrong. But here we go. Game loading in now. Brax's holdout. Always an interesting map. By the way, as I pull up stats tonight, do be aware that these are Season 10 stats, as we haven't really hit the critical mass of Season 11 stats, I think, to tell an accurate tale of certain heroes and certain picks. So still going to be using Season 10 stats for the time being, especially since neither of these teams have actually played in Season 11 yet. This is the first game for both. You can see delayed start for them. Sky 5 just off to an incredibly fast start in A East. I think as they were somewhat expected to do. But these two teams certainly looking to start making up some of that gap here as we see the first ban come out. It is the Banna on the Anna. Anna, just that grenade tool that she has just is borderline overpowered in a big way. Healing reduction has just such a major impact in this game, like to the point that I question if it's even like should be in the game in its current form. There's the Hogger. You can see Anna. That's listed there. Hogger gonna be the next ban. One of Tira that's just made a really big impact right out of the gate. Even with some nerfs, still doing extremely well. Not too surprised to see that ban. Johanna? That is something that seen a bit from ReGen Phoenix last season, if I recall correctly. Oh, let me check. Was it Alarak gonna be the ban here? Can't remember if they played it last season, and if they did, who played it. Tracer gonna be banned out. Or excuse me, first picked, not banned out. Forgive me. Tracer, one of those really annoying heroes. Gonna be able to rotate very aggressively on this map. That's a big advantage. But doesn't really provide any wave clear, so that's gonna need to come from somewhere else. See Mudge gonna be jumping onto the ETC here. Sonya also just incredibly popular this season. That W build has kind of led to a bit of a revolution. Sonya's been just incredibly aggressive this season in terms of applying pressure to the enemy team. And can apply pressure to the backline through those slams, so... From there, we got Coffee coming out, or Coffee bringing the Cassie out, excuse me, and D.Va, who's also been pretty popular this season. I've really seen her a lot do effective value on like maps like BOE and Infernal Shrines, where there's a lot of choke points. There's the Brightwing ban. Brightwing, arguably the top healer in the game right now, or at least certainly the most popular overall. I can't say specifically in NGS, but there's the Kel'Thas. I like that ban. Kel'Thas does bring some kind of CC and can put a living bomb on Tracer and chunk a pretty big portion of her health. Seems reasonable to get rid of that. We have a Valerial. Valerial? I'll call it a Valerial. A Vala Ariel. That is, that's a bold choice, Cotton. As, it's a bold strategy, Cotton. As Vala is kinda squish, and Tracer kinda likes to try to kill squish. Of course, you will have the Crystal Aegis if a Pulse Bomb gets off. And double healer, with Uther being the tank. And we see the Lily coming out. I will go on my rant against pandas at some point during this game. Suffice it to say, I don't like him. Don't care for him. Barely any Lily played last season. Uther, on the other hand, rose up considerably. 58% win rate. With a 20% popularity, that is not small dice. Last pick, it's going to be the Rhaegar. So we have two double supports here. Rhaegar could function in the off lane with the Sonya. Could also just do camps, things like that. It's an interesting draft, certainly. So looking forward to seeing what will occur in this game. I don't know... I personally don't entirely know what to expect. Just make sure that we are all ready to go here on my end. Yeah, the two double support drafts. The Uther Lily seems more of a natural combo in terms of sustain and burst, as well as some extra damage from the Lily, some extra sustain from the Uther than the Ariel Rhaegar, but the Rhaegar is certainly going to bring a lot of wave clear and camp clear, which I think is going to help considerably, especially when there's, frankly, a little bit of lacking wave clear and camp clear on the other side. Give me 1 sec, because I'm getting the last little bits in play here. And here we go, jumping into game number 1 between these two teams. ReGen Phoenix versus... Baby on board. On the left side, we're going to have Area up in the top on the Rhaegar, Arrow on Sonya. That's going to fuck me up. Rabid Penguin on the Vala, Psychic on Ariel, and Mudge on ETC. It is ReGen Phoenix. And on the right side, Baby on board. Oh, how I have adored that sign on my car's window pane. Going to be Cavalier Guest on the Uther. Coffee. It's going to be on Cassia. Kyberry's on the Lily. Got Mockery up on the top on Tracer. And Teresk is going to be on the D.Va. Take a look at those level 1 talents. And if you didn't get the reference, it's alright. Some people like The Simpsons and some people don't have taste. It happens. I understand. Cavalier Guest being pretty aggressive. There's the power slide through. Gonna get some healing from the Lily. Turnaround stun onto the Vala. Going to walk out of that without too much drama. Meanwhile, up in the top, Tracer and D.Va pushing in. Keep in mind, there is a support top for ReGen Phoenix. There is not a support top at the moment for Baby on board. And so as a result, you got to think over time that could start to favor ReGen Phoenix. ETC Power Slide's thrown to Lily, but you can just see this double healer is going to mitigate out so much of this damage from the Vala, but ETC doing a good job walking down, getting that Globe, and Uther might be down. Yep. Great Power Slide. Great stun follow from RePsychic. Good job there by ReGen Phoenix, getting a little bit of an edge down there. And it's going to allow them to channel this point here in 5 seconds. On the other side, the two AR people, they both have an A and an R in their name. It's going to throw me off. Area and Arrow. Try to body off to get control of the siege camp. Ariel is going to recap bot. You have all 5 members of Baby on board up here. Channel progress heading over to ReGen Phoenix at the moment. And now Sonya needs to be careful. They do have a Rhaegar there, so they should be okay. This is looking like a W build Rhaegar, which I'm always a fan of. A very, very powerful combo to go with the Rhaegar. And Coffee now getting focus. Gonna take a big chunk of damage. Gonna have to back up. Trying to push up with these fire bats are the members of Baby on board. They're gonna go 3 top into this Rhaegar Sonya. Pulse Bomb actually lands on Arrow, so gonna need some time to get the health back here. Meanwhile, down here in the bottom in this 3v2, ReGen Phoenix still controlling the lane, still controlling the point, but this wall is starting to fall up here. Arrow and Sonya having a hard time getting on top of this Tracer. The Lily blinding out a lot of their auto attacks. Tracer throws out the Pulse Bomb, wasn't able to find anything. That said, Uther has gone down once again in this bot lane. Vala gonna start pushing up. They get the gate down. That's starting to turn their attention onto the turret. But up here on the top, the turrets are both gone. And we're seeing both Sonya and Rhaegar needing to back here. So do we get a rotation, or are they just going to keep pushing in? Looks like they want to just keep pushing in. So both teams kind of content to trade the lanes a bit at the moment. Uther has returned, is going to come back. They got to be careful about damaging enemy heroes while under the towers, of course, because that will aggro the tower. So far, a couple of kills on the Uther in this game, but otherwise fairly even. As this is the first time I've ever had to bounce back and forth this much on Braxis. And kind of like the way these teams are playing. It makes it pretty exciting. Both teams with a little bit of asymmetry here. Now Arrow, though, is going to get focused, going to take a big chunk of damage, and going to have to walk away, and this fort might be forfeit. Sonya just has to leave. Rhaegar at least going to get that globe, but now backing away, kind of recognizing some cost. Looks like Baby on board wants to try to get onto this point. They get the stun onto Vala. Cassia thinks about going in on the Vala, but there is a great chain stun, and they're going to get Coffee! Or are they? The blind comes in time. Are they going to have to follow up damage? They do. Great stuns here by RePsychic on that Ariel. I've seen 2 now that have secured kills. And doing well with them. That ETC power slide into the wall bang and enabling Rapid Penguin very well. Cassia almost able to make something happen with that blind. Much needs to be careful taking some shots. I like that Vala didn't attack the Uther at all, just focused all damage onto the forts. See, both teams have lost a fort at this point. And now Lily is on the way down. The fort has fallen to the minions. Uther has actually gone down again. And that ghost is now gone. So 3v3 here in the bot. Let's see what D.Va does. Looks like they want to push in, try to get some channel, or stop the channel progress, I should say. 60% and counting here. For ReGen Phoenix, Tracer goes in. Ooh, Rapid Penguin, is the Pulse Bomb going to land? The heal comes just in time. What a great, great heal there by RePsychic to keep Rapid Penguin alive. Going to go ahead and grab the globe, but that will allow the channel progress to be stopped here at 92%. Both teams have lost a fort in the lane the Zerg Wave's going to push, but certainly at the moment, you think that favors ReGen Phoenix, given how much channel progress they already have. I think they're guaranteed at this point the 3 Ultralists. But that said, this 4v3 not winnable at the moment, but we are potentially going to see another invade here. And Tracer actually going to rotate up top. Going to try to help out Uther on this point. Is it going to be in time? Cavalier Guest might take a bit of damage here. Are they going to be able to get the finish? They are not. Tracer is now up here, so it does leave a 3v3 in bot, but you can see with Vala low, it's kind of a double whammy because Ariel's not going to be able to really step up and get Hope when she's low health. The Vala won't be able to step up and get Hope when she's health, but they actually did pretty well there to get some Hope stacked. Meanwhile, up in the top, Tracer just continuing to be annoying, but still in possession of ReGen Phoenix is that top point. There's so much action in this game. Now Uther down here, 3v4. Good stun there by Repsychic. Good power slide out by ETC. I think they might need to disengage this 3v4 at the moment. That does leave Sonya and Rhaegar top still. So ReGen Phoenix in no hurry, recognizing they're about to grab level 10s, and that's a big opportunity for them. Will be interesting to see what level 10s we get. D.Va power slides through. They want to get in onto this Vala. Great stun once again by Repsychic. Great heal again to keep Cassie alive. Cassie still wants this Vala. Great charge. D.Va mech has been finished by the ETC. Tracer, meanwhile, does get a kill onto Rhaegar up in the top lane, and Vala and Cassia trade out. 16% channel progress here. Oh, and ETC might be in trouble as Tracer is rotating down. She's going to get the finish. Repsychic is just saving lives here. But Sonya went down as well in that. So 3 kills in pretty close succession from Baby on board. And that's going to let them start to even up this channel progress in a big way. And you can see now, having some time, going to move to their bruiser. Rhaegar is thinking about going towards the top. I think maybe a bit worried about being there solo, not recognizing Baby on board isn't up there, which, you know, don't have vision. How would they? But yeah, it's been... Here we go. Oh, here comes the big engage. ETC power slides, or stage dives in. She's in the stage dive over the Mosh, and now actually isolated from the team there. Aggro's the boss to prevent the Tracer chase. 84% to 92. ETC is just going to cap the top for the time being. Rhaegar, Ball Lightning comes out, spreading a ton of damage. Vala is low. Ariel throws the heal out. There's the 1,000 cups, mitigating out what little damage was there. Should be noted, Rhaegar did go Ancestral. Here comes ETC now, having capped the top point, 92 to 88%. ETC power slides in with the double support. Kills in these 5v5 fights are going to be few and far between, but that said, right now it looks like the health bar's favoring Baby on board as they continue to push in. Mockery has to Tracer recall out of some big damage. Rabid Penguin stepping up, did get a bit low. Uther tried to go for the stun, ended up finding, I believe it was the Rhaegar. Still no finishes. The health bars are starting to drop. We might get a kill soon. Mudge is low. Gonna try to back up. Here comes the 1,000 cups. Ancestral does not land in time. And Sonya does go down, and now ETC looking for the exit. Power slides out. Oh, there's the Aegis. Is it gonna be enough to save him? It is, but look at these health bars from ReGen Phoenix. They are so low. Rabid Penguin does not get the Ancestral once again. And now the chase continues to pressure in. They're going to find Repsychic, and Baby on board just put their foot on the gas in this game. Let's take a look at just all the chaos that just unfolded here. As you can see, you know, fight just going on. Sonya got a little isolated. Ancestral did not land in time. That 1,000 cups mitigating out all the damage. ETC does manage to get away. Great Aegis there from Repsychic, who's playing well. But just with the health bar so low and with that Tracer and D.Va, it's hard to retreat. And second late Ancestral there, not able to keep the Vala alive. That said, ReGen Phoenix here did in fact get both the objectives while the boss was being taken. So they do get the 100% and therefore have a bit of an advantage in this Zerg wave. That said, it's going to have to contend with this boss. And up in the top, Coffee and Mockery pushing into the top with the Uther. Lily on the way. It's D.Va who's stalling out the bottom objective. Keep an eye on that. Of course, 13 talent here in favor of Baby on board at the moment. ETC stage diving in. Has to be careful about that stage dive. You can see the immediate follow-up damage. And that's one of the risks about stage diving aggressively into a comp that has stuns like that, is you can follow up very aggressively. Area having to back up their Tracer on the flank. ETC now taking damage. Mockery being so aggressive with this Tracer, getting just some meaningful chunk damage there. Rabid Penguin having to back up out of the Pulse Bomb. Divine Shield has been used to enable Cassia to dive in. There is a big stun, however, to disengage it. Ancestral comes out this time on the Mudge to enable potentially a re-engage. This Zerg wave has been cleaned in the top lane. It's still a 4v4 fight, though. Cassia wants to go for this Vala. There comes the big stun off Re-Psychic into the ETC power slide. Does enable for some chunk, but this double support, just such a tough nut to crack right now with this Lily and this Uther. The armor on demand, the blinds when their primary damage is auto attack. Baby on board just getting harder and harder to kill. And meanwhile, Sonya and D.Va playing some games. Sonya needs to be careful, and actually D.Va likely to prevent the mount and the back. There's the dismount. The rotation is coming down, so the clock is ticking. Sonya maybe going to try to get this D.Va down. The poison damage, though, won't be enough, and Sonya has fallen. And so, Baby on board with another opportunity to get some push value. Equal talent tier for the moment. Slight XP lead over to Baby on board. Both teams taking some keep damage, as you can see, but slightly more keep damage in favor of Baby on board. So a little bit of an edge right now in this game. The big concern, of course, for ReGen Phoenix is finding kills, as these Lily blinds proving quite a problem here. They are looking at this D.Va. They want to see if they can find it. Vala stepping up. But here comes actually the rest of the collapse. Good power slide through to prevent the Uther stun. 5v5 fight breaking out down here. D.Va with the slows on the chase. They do find the ETC face melt used. Make sure to get away. There's the pulse bomb. Sonya blows the Wrath. We might see this fight start to turn around here. ETC looking for the opportunity to power slide, but D.Va with the disruption, and we have an unfortunately timed pause, I would say. Looks like Coffee DC'd right there in a bit of trouble as we get some calls for lag. Right now, big 5v5 fight breaking out, so we'll keep an eye on that in this series. Let's go ahead, jump back into the game, take a look at some stats. We do have a disconnect, as you can see right now. I mean, Vala and Tracer just both doing a ton of damage, but there's just more damage coming out from Baby on board at the moment. On the other side, though, I mean, it's a lot of healing coming out, both from the Ariel and the Rhaegar. So, it's tricky in this point. Kind of tough nut to crack. Oops. Looks like, trying to clear my screen here. Looks like we're going to get little bit of a longer delay. Their voice chat's cutting in and out for ReGen Phoenix. We got some lag coming in. So there's going to be a pretty big unpause at the moment as the caster desperately strives to stall for time. Hey, look! It's Cat! Cat, everyone. Cat. That is Chloe Kitten, and she is adorable, and I love her very, very much. So far, no sign of an unpause. But looks like I spoke too soon. We might be getting back into it. As looks like ReGen Phoenix is ready. We're making sure. Okay, ready coming in from Baby on board. Of course, we don't want to miss a moment here as this fight breaks out. There's the engage. They do get the kill onto Uther. Of course, Uther going to be alive for a bit in the form of Ghost Heals. Mudge is taking a big bulk of damage from Cassia. And they actually find the Sonya there before the Ancestral is able to be cast. Rhaegar casting the Self-Ancestral. So a 1-for-1 trade. Sonya for the Uther. ETC stage diving top, trying to save this fort. It is so low, I don't think he's going to be able to save it in time. He does not, so keep has gone down. Bottom fort has gone down as well. Went down a bit ago, actually. And so because of this, there's a 2-structure deficit right now. favoring Baby on board as they go ahead and they move into the siege camp. Gonna cap the bottom, send Diva top. Start building up that channel progress meter. ReGen Phoenix, they want to clear up this Fire Vat camp before they move on to the objective. Bruiser camp at the moment. Sentinel camp being grabbed by the members of Baby on board. ETC has neutralized the channel, so 16% counted so far. It is a 5v5 once again setting up here as Rhaegar down in that bottom side. ETC getting a bit low. Sonya tries to get onto Cavalier, gets in the back. Rabid Penguin is actually extremely low here in the back. There's the Aegis, but Rabid Penguin does go down to the Tracer dive. Sonya trying to make something happen in the back, but she's just outnumbered. Cassia all over ETC on the chase. Are they going to get the finish? They do. The question is, will they be able to get out? And the answer is no. Repsychic goes down. Mockery once again on the chase. It's going to be Rhaegar and ETC getting out, but that was a 3-for-1 as Sentinel can't push his bottom. ETC has gone top to stall the objective, but he might be in a bit of trouble here. No, boss is going to be taken once again. So while they take the boss, let's take a look at that last fight. You can see Sonya went all over this back line, but the Tracer dived to get that Vala. Incredibly powerful. Cassia chases this ETC very aggressively as Sonya dies in the back. Great stun there by Repsychic, at least enabling some kind of turnaround kill, but not able to get out himself. Great fight there by Baby on board. And now ReGen Phoenix going to have to deal with a boss in the bottom lane, going to have to deal with 80%, 86 and counting channel progress. Will they at least be able to get the stall for a bit? They will. So 5 people defending up here, but this boss slowly marching down the bottom. Gonna need some attention soon. And looks like at 98%, they just need to cap this once. And they will get 100-0 Zergwave. Keep in mind, top lane has 3 Katas, a 4th on the way, and a Fire Bat camp. That is absolutely a threat to end the game, even without the Zergwave. And actually moving right onto core already is Baby on board. Here comes the re-engage. There's already 3 Katas on core. They need to make sure that they get those out of there. Lily with the 1,000 Cups. Uther with the D-Shield. Now trying to get onto Repsychic. Repsychic has the Pulse Bomb. Blows the Self-Aegis. Here comes Diva now. 84% on the core. This bottom keep is about to fall to the Zergwave. There comes the Ancestral. Great Ancestral onto Rabid Penguin. Very high value. But they still haven't found any kills. Can they get Kai Berries? They do. But I don't know if they can chase this because of the Zergwave on the core. 60%, 54%. ETC looks for the stage dive finish, but it's not going to be enough, and the core falls. Baby on board. They just had the Exodia there, it felt like. Had the Exodia comp. You got the 3 Katas in the top with the Hellbats. You got the Sentinel camp and the boss and the Zergwave in the bottom. And you have double support. It's just going to take so much time for ReGen Phoenix to de-push that, and they just simply weren't able to do so. So with that, Baby on board, going to take game number 1 here. Go ahead and put that in the win column for them as we take a look at our post-game statistics. You can see, I mean, tons of healing trucked out there by Area and Repsychic. Over 130k. But just not enough to keep up with... I mean, the Tracer and Cassie alone went for 150k. Throwing the Diva, chipping another 50k. It's just so much damage coming out. Hard to keep up with it all. And, having a hard time... Sorry, had to sneeze. Having a hard time really getting the damage out with those blinds and with that Diva disengage. Really making it hard for Sonya to make much happen here, so... Baby on board, going to take game number 1. ReGen Phoenix looked good early, but ultimately it felt like Baby on board really had control of that game late. So, we're going to take a brief break. We'll be right back for game number 2. Stay tuned, everyone, and thank you all very, very much for watching. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're going to jump right back into draft. Baby on board, taking us to Infernal Shrines. ReGen Phoenix opting for the first pick. See if getting that first pick can help them make something happen here on map number 2 to get us to a game 3. As we get started. The music, by the way, from the Bravely Default 2 demo. Bravely Default 2 is a game I'm definitely looking forward to. Other games I'm looking forward to, game 2 of this series. ReGen Phoenix definitely had something going early, but just had trouble getting kills later. We'll see if teams opt for a double support once again in this series. Joanna going to be banned out once again. Looks like we have DC here, so we'll try to figure out what happened with that. Oops. Yep. Yeah. So what happened was original lobby was made with Baby on board on the left side, ReGen Phoenix on the right. They had to swap sides, but they forgot to swap the first draft team. So we're getting that squared away, and we'll be ready to go shortly. Baby on board up 1-0 in this series. ReGen Phoenix gonna need to find a win here. They want to get back into it. Taking a look at the standings in A East. Right now, Phoenix Rising, Xanthite, and Sky 5, the only team with a domination. Sky 5 getting dominations over, I believe, Dead Game Players and Dark Allegiance. I believe Phoenix Rising, Xanthite also getting a domination victory over Dark Allegiance. Baby on board wanting to join them. This is the first match for both teams, a delayed week 1 start. But, long season to go, of course. This point in the season, it's hard to tell kind of your power level in terms of who you've beaten because, frankly, you don't know necessarily how many wins the teams that you've played are going to get. We don't know a lot about Dark Allegiance in terms of how they're going to do in A. They did very well in B East at Deathweb last season. Starting out with some tough opponents, though. Some very seasoned veterans in Division A. But being a seasoned veterans in Division A, we got both here. A little bit, actually, more so experience on the side of ReGen Phoenix, but Baby on board in their brief stint last season looked good and looks like they've picked up right where they left off. Baby on board, a lot of the players were on the Careless Badgers last season, who I believe were third at the point they had to drop out, and they were doing very, very well. They were like third or fourth, somewhere in there. We're heading in. We assume Baby on board is going to ban out the Joanna first because, you know, they have. What's going to get banned out this time is still the Hogger, not wanting to deal with the Hogger Pogger. Are the members of ReGen Phoenix? Sonya going to get banned out from Baby on board. Sonya, of course, incredibly strong on this map. Especially with that slam build. It's just so much AoE damage on the shrine. We take a look quickly at Arrow's stats from last season on Sonya. Kind of a disappointing 1-4. See if he's able to improve on those numbers this season with some of the buffs we've seen from Sonya. Joanna banned out as before. Diva banned out by Baby on board. Excuse me, by ReGen Phoenix. It was played very well by Tarask in that last set. And of course, strong on the map. Uther going to be grabbed here by Area. So wanting to get onto that hero quickly, as it was played very, very well, I would say, by Cavalier Guest in that last set. What are they going to do to respond to the Uther? Keep in mind that could be a tank Uther or a healer area, typically playing healers. So could still be a double support, of course. Yrel and Sylvanas coming out from Tarask and Mockery, respectively. Yrel able to get on the back line and just make assassins feel uncomfortable. Sylvanas going to be great at enabling the Punisher if they're able to win it. And just a generally good teamfight assassin. There's a heaping load of CC on the map here for ReGen Phoenix, as Arrow going to jump onto that Gazlo, Mudge jumping right back onto ETC. So a lot of setup potentially for CC combos. You could do the Gravo Bomb into a Mosh, of course. You can always do the Holy Cow, aka the Divine Bovine. Chromie gonna get banned out. A lot of frontline and CC to set up a Chromie, so I think that's a sensible ban. Especially when Yrel, if she tries to get on the backline, can often find herself caught in a time trap. Cav needs a hero he can die on. Fair enough. I guess Malthael? Is that it? ATZ maybe? No, I keyed. Next ban. It is the May. Not wanting to deal with the potential double disruption that the May can bring in, diving into the back line. May, pretty good introductory season into the Nexus. You can see that 57% win rate. May is kind of a weird hero, it feels like. Not really like traditional CC as a tank. You often want some other kind of CC to help set it up. But has been doing well. And there's the Anduin, going to be picked up by Kyberries. Anduin is a hero that I just frankly love. I think he's, with that W, CDR reduction and move speed at 13, it just makes him incredibly strong. That said, I mean, always kind of a low win rate, 44%. Lower than you would expect. That's obviously best cleanse tool in the game. You got Leoric. Hey, he's a hero he can die on. Leoric coming out from Cavalier Guest. I kid. I'm just reading chat here. I'm just a dog chasing cars. There's the Cassia and the Kael'thas. Was banned out in the last game. Repsychic definitely loving that Kael'thas in the past. Seeing it return this season. We have a Sergeant Hammer coming out from Coffee. That is a little hairball thrown into the mix. Although, I would say, they have kind of some tools to deal with the Hammer here. So it'll be an interesting cat and mouse game, I think. Nothing here, like, stands out to me as, like, in any way a bad pick. I really like both of these drafts pretty significantly as we jump into game number 2 here. Game 1 was won by Baby on Board as we went to Brax's holdout as selected by ReGen Phoenix. ReGen Phoenix opting for first pick. And so as you've seen, Baby on Board taking us to the shrines, which are most infernal. As we get set up to jump into game number 3, we're in the loading screen now, and now we're past even that as we jump into the game here in the Nexus Gaming Series Season 11 A East. It's going to be ReGen Phoenix versus Baby on Board. On the left side, ReGen Phoenix got area actually on Kael'thas. There's a bit of role swapping. Apologies, I did not account for it. Repsychic on the Uther, Rabid Penguin on Cassia, Mudge on ETC, and Arrow on the Gazlo. And then the right side, Baby on Board, you got Kyberries on Anduin, Coffee on that Sylvanas. Mockery is going to be on the Sergeant Hammer. Once again, some role swapping, or hero swapping I didn't count for. And Cavalier Guest actually on the Yrel. Tarask is going to be on the Leo. So double bruiser coming out here. But it's not a tankless comp. Get it? Because Sergeant Hammer is a tank. Ignore me. Level 1 talents. Fairly standard across the board. Charge strikes coming out from the Cassia. Looks like ReGen Phoenix content to get side soak initially. Kael'thas gonna mount up and walk away. Got most of the soak, but there's still a couple minion globes that ReGen Phoenix is not really gonna be able to step up to grab. So slight XP win early here. Lyric, Gazlo in the top lane. Mid lane, looking like they want to move on to Yrel. Just a slight miss on that power slide, but they have not given up on Yrel, but their good jump, waiting on the face melt, uses the over the wall. Now bottom camp being taken by Sergeant Hammer and Sylvanas. Some soak here, gonna need to be grabbed by ReGen Phoenix. They do miss a minion globe, but not much. Now working on their own siege camp. ETC is alone here and needs to be incredibly careful. Doesn't get punished. Does take a bit of chunk. Gaz gonna be working on this top lane. Leo gonna do his double soak. It's gonna be a lot more effective once Neil Peasants comes online at level 4. Good start here by both teams. Siege camp gonna be put into this mid lane. Gaz has rotated down to cover this mid soak while the rest of his team soaks the bottom. Now they're gonna rotate up. Cassie is actually going to come down. Could see Mockery try to post up, maybe get some tower damage here. ETC, though, coming in. Yep, there is the post up. ETC moving on to the back line. There's a good knockback, though, by Mockery. Mudge hasn't given up on this. Good route there by Ando and Sylvanas with the nice wailing Banshees to get out of there. So very nice little disengage by Baby on board. Nobody used anything inefficiently. Everyone got value out of their cooldowns. You get a little damage on tower, a lot of damage on the gate, and that I think bodes well. First shrine will be top. It will be a frozen Punisher is the choice. Bruiser camp currently being taken by the members of ReGen Phoenix. Arrow gonna get some soak top. Very slight XP lead at the moment. Favoring the members of Baby on board, excuse me. Throat is a little dry, and actually Leo going to continue double soak, as soak going to be missed here by the members of ReGen Phoenix as they commit to this objective. All 5 on the way. Here comes Kael'thas as well. They want to see maybe if they can get onto the Sylvanas. She wailing Banshees out. Yrel has dove in. Root there. A lot of damage being focused onto this ETC. But here comes the Sun combo possibly onto Yrel. She knocks back once again. Hammer now posting up to secure the disengage. 7 to 11. That's going to start favoring ReGen Phoenix soon. Meanwhile, Leo continues the double soak, but now going to make his way up top as level 7 is here for the members of Baby on board. ETC gets very low, dodges a root. The chase is on. Are they going to be able to get him behind the wall? Leo not able to finish, but with that ETC low, it might be time for ReGen Phoenix to back up a little bit and try to reset. They only need 9 more minions. Are they going to be able to find them? Trying to push in. Rabid Penguin is low, does get hit by the root. Yrel tries to get the finish. Does not manage to do so. Living Bomb is spreading there. Coffee, but Coffee does manage to not spread it to Hammer. Mudge is extremely low. Power slides through. They only need 8 more minions. The question is, can they find them? Rabid Penguin is so low. He's going to go down to that Yrel Q. Coffee low, taking a bit of damage from Kael'thas, but the overall better sustained healing from Anduin seeming to play out there in favor of Baby on board. 33 to 25. ETC is low. Has to power slide away. Gazlo manages to grab another. It's 34 to 28. Make that 35. If they can find 5 more, they managed to find 1 more there. It is 4. Are they going to try to die for this? ETC is walking away. 37. Gaz manages to grab it. And ReGen Phoenix does finish. Oh, and ETC tried to save the Gazlo, and they both die as a result. The Living Bomb, though, does spread there. Meanwhile, this whole time, Leo has been soaking. That has translated to a level and a half lead. So despite winning this Punisher, those 2 deaths going to make it hard to do anything with this. And ultimately, you got to call that a win for Baby on board, all things considered. Area going to rotate down, try to help clear this bot lane. Rel and Leo clearing the mid. Top has been cleaned up. And a 2-level lead now when all is said and done here for Baby on board. Siege camp trying to be taken. They are going to be able to grab it, but once this bruiser camp is taken, Baby on board should have their level 10s with about a level and a half of breathing room to make something happen. So it's going to be a tough few minutes here for ReGen Phoenix. Having to negotiate around the enemy team, having heroics, especially with that Euro light bomb being potentially such a good engage. Ooh, we have a Sacred Ground coming out from the Urel rather than the Ardent Defender. I actually like that choice because of just how much CC there is on the side of ReGen Phoenix. Can really deny that blow-up combo. But here comes the push top. Hammer posted up well, working down these walls. ETC can't really do much here and might need to back up to avoid the worst of that damage. We have Light Bomb, Entomb, Wailing Arrows, Sacred Ground, and the BFG. Ooh, nice actually damage coming out from Kel'Thas there. And Terrask is actually gonna drop, and they get the kill down a Talent tier. Almost managed to find Coffee as well. Good cleanse from the Anduin, but that is a huge win for ReGen Phoenix. Keep in mind they won that effectively 4v5. And so now Gazlo working on this siege camp, going to be able to walk away but get some soak in the process, not wanting to get flanked onto. Here come the members now with level 10 in hand. They do have the Holy Cow combo. They have Valkyrie as well. Pyroblast is going to be the choice, trying to go out onto Sylvanas there and the Gravo Bomb. So tons of CC potential. Kind of surprised the choice was the Pyroblast. As opposed to the Phoenix. The Phoenix, just such a good zoning tool and could really, I think, synergize with how much they have in terms of AoE lockdown. Surprised they went for the single target there. Area is dismounted and needs to be careful. Is going to be able to walk away from this. ETC is here. Keeping an eye now. Almost a Talent tier advantage. Almost for Baby on board. They are very much on their way. Now pushing up into this mid. Doing a good job getting what they can with this hammer, but haven't been able to convert a fort just yet in the game. So no passive XP. And ReGen Phoenix, give them credit. They cut this 2-level deficit into just under half, or just on, well, about a level and a third at this point. That's good to be able to do that, but now down a Talent tier. They are going to start trying to work on the shrine very quickly. See if they can get a lead. Maybe sneak it like they did last time. Hopefully without the deaths. Leo coming into the back, looking for the Entomb. Does catch out the Uther, but not really the prime target for that. There's the Grabo Bomb. ETC power sliding in. Does get stunned out by the Light Bomb. Mudge is low. There's the Holy Cow combo and a great Divine Shield. Blunt Force Gun, though, is still going to secure the kill after it ends. And they traded out Leo for ETC, but the health bars are lower on the side of ReGen Phoenix. Valkyrie did not manage to capture the hammer there. And now this looks like a situation where ReGen's good Phoenix is going to need to walk away. Cassia going down. And I don't think they're going to be able to sneak this one. Take a look while they're finishing that at the replay of that fight. You can see they get the Divine Cow combo, but the great well-timed Blunt Force Gun secures the ETC kill. Leo trade going down, but then towards the bottom you can see Cass went for the Valkyrie, didn't quite manage to hit it and got punished, unable to escape. So well done there by Baby on board. Punisher has stepped up. The first jump has gone out. ETC a little bit separated. Has the power slide through. The next jump is coming soon. They need to be careful. ReGen Phoenix is very stacked up. It does jump onto ETC, though. Here comes Leo looking for the Entomb. Kel'Thas is in a bit of trouble. Does get caught out in that. Does throw out the Blunt Force Gun. Does secure the kill. Kel'Thas having to run through the gate. Mockery with a very well-timed Blunt Force Gun once again. Here comes the Gaz combo. Only managed to hit on the Leo. They do finally get this Punisher down. But now that level lead has grown once again, swelling About 2 levels and a quarter. And we're in danger of ReGen Phoenix having almost no window to engage on equal talent tier. Only just now converting level 13, but 16 is so close that Baby on Board can taste it. And they'll probably pick it up off this mini wave here in the bottom. Leo just doing Leo stuff. Being annoying. Level 16 is here. So ReGen Phoenix gonna be down a talent tier again, 2.5 levels. But they're gonna look for something. ETC uses the face melt, has to power slide away to prevent the engage. Yrel actually behind, not really too in danger. They maybe want this fight to go for this fort. Gazlo and Leo are away. There is the talent tier, but they are defending under their fort. Cavalier Guest's gonna take a little bit of damage, but gonna be able to heal it up because Yrel, lol. ETC having a power slide away to avoid getting caught out. Still takes a ton of chunk damage. Here comes Leo into the back. The Wailing Arrow does connect onto ETC. Unable to find the finish, however. Leo is down here. There's a 5v4 with the talent tier advantage. Gaz currently doing everything he can to soak away. The Black Arrows come out. They get about half the fort, but so far has been a pretty good defense coming out from ReGen Phoenix. Leo has gone away to soak. He's visible in the top lane. They engage here onto the Yrel. There's the stun combo. Can they get the damage? Here comes the Pyroblast with the Valkyrie pulling back under the tower. There's the Mosh trying to secure the kill as best they can. They do so, but at the cost of ETC. Rabid Penguin is now low. Does Uther have the heal? Has to blow the Divine Shield. Not an ideal situation. Here comes Gaz looking for the engage, but a great disengage from the hammer. Gaz not able to secure it. Top fort has gone down to this Leo. Gaz gonna walk up and clean it. Almost level 16 here by ReGen Phoenix. Leo is a bit out here, but just trying to find Soka's ReGen Phoenix. Let's take a look at that last defense, how it ended. You can see Yrel, ETC were both kind of sparring off here, looking for an opportunity to get on each other. Great power slide CC chain combo, but just that Yrel is so hard to finish, even with the Valkyrie, even with the tower. And eventually the ETC does go down. Gaz and Leo posturing against each other up in this top bruiser camp. Leo gonna walk away as the rest of the members of ReGen Phoenix come in. ETC gonna walk down, try to get that soak. Level 16 is here. They are gonna pick their talents and have the opportunity for the fight with this Arcane Punisher here in the bottom lane. Hammer postures up in the back. ETC already taking a bit of chunk damage. Leo getting the big damage reduction off with the spooky Ghost Walk. And that's going to buy some space. Yrel drops her Sacred Ground, and they are in this to fight. Anduin has just thrown his root out. Didn't manage to collect anyone, but such great positioning from the hammer, and it's going to be hard to push on. Power Slide comes through onto Yrel. There's the knockback, putting ETC off. Great in tune, catches two. Here comes the damage reduction. A Blood Force gun onto Arrow. Throws out the Gravitron, but not able to catch anyone in it. At least it did force the disengage, but Leo is just causing so much havoc here in the back, and they do find the Gazlo. They do find the kill toss. What great havoc wreaking here. Once again, Tarask doing a lot of what we saw Tarask do in that last game. Sylvanas is good dodge there by Mudge and Repsychic, but they just don't really have anyone damagey, and they're going to need to walk away from this. Here comes Punisher. This fort is forfeit. And well on the way to level 20 is Baby on board. We'll see how... I mean, this is still a very, very healthy Punisher. It is a threat. Gazlo and Kael'thas are going to come up here. ReGen Phoenix. Ready to deal with this. Starting to burn it. It's at about half health. Jump should come soon. Doesn't look like, even with the 20, that Baby on board wanting to push in just yet. And the Punisher has gone down. Leo looking for the buried alive. Almost catches the Uther, but he just clips right through the wall. Speedrun strats. Oh, the Valkyrie not able to catch Hammer. The Graviton does get onto the Anduin. Anduin gonna have to back up here, but a big Wailing Arrow hits 3 by Coffee. Now trying to go to town onto this ETC, and Coffee is just trading very, very aggressively. Here comes Cavguest. Can they find the kill? They're getting on the arrow. The health bar is so low from the side of ReGen Phoenix. Uther gonna have a hard time healing it up, and it looks like this should be an opportunity for Baby on Board to try to make something happen insofar as going for this keep, but all the health bars starting to get a bit low. Looks like they might be starting to think about disengaging, ETC clearing the mid. Uriel goes back in, goes fishing, doesn't catch anything. ETC wants to get onto the Sylvanas. Ooh, good little dodge there with the Wailing Banshees, and Mudge is low, and Mudge does not get out of this, and now comes Leo. The Entomb splits the team, but doesn't actually catch anyone in it. And Leo's actually going to go down there to that Kel'Thas living bomb, it looks like. Oh, and this time they got the Valkyrie. They get it against the wall. There's the big Graviton. Can they make something happen, though? The Light Bomb comes out, forces out the D-Shield onto Cassia. Cassia wants this Anduin, does get the kill, gets the trade. But it is a 3v2 in favor of the members of Baby on Board. Not able to do too much with it, though. Take a look at that last little sequence of events. You see Uriel very aggressive looking for this, but you got the great Valkyrie Graviton combo to force Hammer against the wall here. Hammer able to run away. Cassie goes in and finds the Anduin. Kind of a death rattle kill, but arguably at this point, any kind of trades like that, you gotta think favor ReGen Phoenix, giving them time to get level 20. Still not there yet, but getting close. Should definitely have it by the next objective, provided we don't see any mistakes that lead to the game ending. Next objective will be in the mid lane, and it will be a Frozen Punisher. See this bottom wave building up quite a bit of menace. I'm going to need to come down and clean it soon. ReGen Phoenix, though, still with their keeps alive. Leo, once again, with the Havoc wreaking. Next Punisher phase warm-up has started. 10 seconds. Let's see what level 10s we get. Do we get the dead Uther meta and the dead ETC meta? Gazlowe, meanwhile, by the way, is bottom. Now starting to run up here. ReGen Phoenix is here with 4. Leo's still in the top lane, so 4v4 at the moment. Uriel in that Sacred Ground with the 50 armor. Has taken a bit of damage, though. ETC tries to force the Uriel off the Sacred Ground, but takes a bit of damage. Wailing Arrow, however, is out, and a lot of that damage has been healed up. 8 to 18 at the moment. ETC stunned to the wall again. Need to start moving into this point. 8 to 23. I don't know if they can afford to take much more time here on this engage, as I really don't think they can deal with a Punisher. Repsychic in the bottom is starting to get low. It is the dead Uther meta. There is, oh no, the Valkyrie actually pulling out of Mosh. They're going to pull into the combo. There's the Light Bomb. Can they get Kyberries down? They do, and there's the trade. Uther is back alive now, so it is a slight advantage to ReGen Phoenix, 24 to 33. Kind of a repeat of that first one. Can they get the finish is the question. For the member of Baby on Board, they do kill the Leo, 25 to 35. Hammer going to try to look for that. Needs to be careful not to get caught out here. There is a Siege Camp and a Kata on the bottom. There's the Blunt Force gun tucking out a ton of damage onto Arrow. Uriel coming in, 37, 39, 38, and ReGen Phoenix gets it, and they get the Uriel kill. Oh my goodness, that was so close. And no damage yet onto the core. They're going to have to do some cleanup, but want to push aggressively with this, as they do have 3 kills on the side. Let's take a look at that replay real quick of those closing moments. You can see they chase out the Leo. Hammer and Uriel are going to come back in and try to finish. You can't see, apologies, the minion count. I'll move up that live preview a bit, but it got just so close. 39 to 38 was the last number I saw. Uriel went for it, not able to get the finish, though. And here comes an engage onto the keep. A little bit of urgency here from ReGen Phoenix. Are they going to think of maybe trying to end that Uriel stagger, giving them an opportunity? This Punisher is still fairly healthy here. Leo with the damage reduction. They are going to start to work on this keep. Bot Peep has been killed against ReGen Phoenix. There is the Entomb onto ETC. ETC did go the death metal. Something to keep in mind here. They're going to try to get onto this Leo. There's the light bomb. Good face melt from the ETC to disengage that. The root lands on Urel. ReGen Phoenix still hovering around here. They do have a couple Catas coming in, but Gazlo is coming towards core. Are they going to try the do or die play here? They got to be careful of the Leo Entomb. Excuse me, Leo Entomb is down for another 20 seconds. Are they going to take this fight? Mudge is low. There's the Grabo bomb. They don't manage to catch anyone with it, however. And now ETC, who did play up for it, has to power slide away to avoid that Anduin root. Still low. Is the death metal going to come in? It is. The question is, are they going to be able to do anything with it? And I'm not sure the answer to that is yes. Rabid Penguin so low on the backside. Gazlo goes down, trying to make a kill happen. Kel'Thas going to be the next to fall. And I think that might be the game here. See if they get onto Rabid Penguin. Indeed, they do. And now it's just all math. Cat is on the core. The rest of the baby on board soon to follow to close out this domination victory. You can see there, ETC goes for the death metal, but just not really able to make anything happen because the rest of the team was already low and zoned out. Cassia extremely low in the back. Kel'Thas stepped up to try to help, but it was too little too late. Kel'Thas then gets interrupted at a Pyroblast and gets finished off. And a great fight overall by baby on board. As we turn our attention back to this core that is falling. And baby on board, 2-0 victory over ReGen Phoenix. ReGen Phoenix, though, putting up a hell of a fight there at the end of game number 2, but unfortunately it was not enough. Congratulations to baby on board on that victory. We're going to see if we can talk to a member of baby on board quickly. Keep in mind, tonight is a double header, and we have a barn burner for game number 2. It's going to be Team Rainbow Strike Go versus Cool Cats and Kittens, arguably the two top teams in C West going at it, so stay tuned for that. While I get the interview set up, we'll be right back. Thank you all very much for watching. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the Nexus Gaming Series. DB Smiley here, and I am joined by Mockery and Cavalier guest of the victorious Baby on Board. How are you guys feeling after that match?
Feeling pretty good. That was fun.
Yeah, I had a good time. I got to play two very enjoyable characters. Enjoyable for one team at least,
Yeah.
Tracer and Sergeant Hammer. So that was a fun
Yeah.
series to play for me.
So on that first map, breaking out the first pick Tracer on
Yes.
Brax's holdout, not what I would call at least broadly a common first pick on that map. What was the rationale behind that?
Letting me have Tracer is a mistake, and you will lose if you do so.
Yeah. I wasn't sending a message to the team we were playing. I was sending a message to every team we will play in NGS, which is that you don't get 2 bans. You get 1 ban.
I mean, the Tracer was played very effectively, good weaving in and out, maximizing damage. Went with the Uther main tank, Lily healer, but kind of a double heal combo. Why do you think you guys were so effective in that series in terms of winning the fights kind of after, I guess, the critical mass of levels came into play?
That's just a complicated question about the way double healer works.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a normal tank who doesn't do a lot of damage, and a normal offlaner who doesn't do a lot of damage, and 2 healers who don't do a lot of damage, and a carry, the carry is doing all your damage. If you have a tank Uther, you have 2 carries that are both doing more damage, but they also have 2 supports, so your healing is matched, but your damage is not.
Right.
So fundamentally, that comp should always win team fights. If I had played better, those fights would not have been as close as they were, but my tank Uther sucks.
I don't know why he says it like it's just his
look too
Uther.
bad. Didn't look too bad. So you guys are able to ultimately, after ReGen, Phoenix was able to get pretty good channel progress in the first wave. Felt like you guys hit your stride, put your foot on the pedal. This takes us, of course, to Infernal Shrines, map number 2, and once again, kind of I say tankless comp in the sense that it's non-traditional tanks. What is your mindset right now on kind of these like tankless comps?
I mean, I have a biased perspective, right? I wrote The Art of the Tank back in 2016, and I said a tank needs these 4 things, or they're not a tank. And then eventually, people started to realize you need these 4 things, but they don't necessarily need to be on the same hero. So they are the ability to peel, which, as people have discovered, tanks are actually some of the worst peelers in the game by comparison to supports. So supports are actually, on average, better peelers. Garrosh is an example of a tank who can actually peel really well because displacement is very good peel. So he has Into the Fray, and he has Wrecking Ball to throw people away and to throw his team to safety. But most tanks have shit peel. Yrel actually has really good peel. W is a very good peel tool. And just the ability to be constantly frontlining. Survivability, because you need to be in the front. And being in the front isn't about... It's about the interaction with the enemy team, right? If you're really far away from the enemy team, you can't interact with them. There's like nothing that happens when you're 20 feet away from someone. But when you get to 6 feet away, you can start to interact with them. But if they have ranged abilities, you're going to take some damage. Therefore, you need some kind of survivability to not die. This is referred to as like tanking damage, sponging damage. I hate that definition because you're using your health bar as a resource that you're trading for vision of the enemy team, so that you know where they are and you can do stuff to them. They need an engage. That is, they need a way to make the damage on their team able to be inflicted on the enemy team reliably. Usually that's CC. In like Tyrael's case, just really effective slows works for some heroes, but it is harder. And they need the ability to ward, which is to sit in bushes and not die, to control vision, to dismount rotations. So people were like, okay, yeah, we need these 4 things, but can they be in other heroes? So like Medivh comps, Medivh controls vision in bird form, can't die. Medivh adds survivability through force of will, and he adds all of the engage you need through portal and leyline seal, and that also works as peel, right? So there are people who argue that when you have like a Medivh Zul comp and it's Zul main tank, that's actually Medivh main tank, even though Medivh's not the one getting hit. He's the one who's doing the tank's job.
I just want to shout out your Art of Tanking article, because I remember I would link that to people who would always say, we need a tank. Oh, let me lock Artanis. And if I said Artanis is not a tank, they said, no, but he can take a ton of damage. Like, yeah. and that was the story of DB Smiley Storm League in 2017 and 18. Around 2019, felt like the problem was getting a bit better. Of course, then I had to tell people that Toronto was actually a healer now, and that's a whole different story. But with that,
Well, back
go
in the day, those were just warriors, weren't they?
Yeah.
Like there wasn't even the
Yeah,
tank bruiser distinction.
there was not. It was just warriors before the class,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, so
reclassification
people would be
late.
like, "Oh, I'm
2018.
picking something in the warrior category
yeah,
because that's
I would
my tank."
pick a Sonya and be like, no, we don't need a tank. We have a warrior already. And like Sonya, no. Anyway, well, with that, obviously, congrats on the 2-0 victory, getting the 3 points. Bit of a delayed start for you guys. That's your first match, so you maximized points so far. What are your goals this season as a team here in A East?
I mean, Michael's just have fun, right? We practice occasionally, like when we can, and sometimes like our actual games or our warm-ups before games are actually practice, and we're trying things. The games are practice. Like we've never played Tank Urel before. I've played Tank Urel, but as a team, we've never played it. We've never played a hammer comp.
Yeah, I mean,
but
we've played a single-digit amount of games. We're just chilling.
yeah,
I really miss Heroes Wednesday. It used to be a weekly event where 5 streamers would get together and we'd all just play some Storm League. I think it was Hero League back then, actually. But that was a really fantastic way to play the game and just get out here and be with some of my favorite people in the Nexus and Cav. So I'm having a really good time.
Shade. Well, I
So-
want to thank specifically the two of you for continuing to just be really, really positive voices for this game. This weird little game that we love that, we're trying to turn into the little engine that could. So thank you for that. And with that, I'll give you guys the floors for shout-outs before I got to jump into my next game here in about 8 minutes or so.
shout out to my team, Kyle Ferguson on Twitch, who is streaming right now. I believe Kyberry's on Twitch, who is also streaming. Mockery, who would shout out himself because he's shameless, but is also
Can't
streaming
stand that guy.
on Twitch. So all three of them streaming literally right now. You can go watch them. Yeah, shout out to NGS admins for continually organizing things like this. Organizers don't get enough appreciation because it's not easy.
All right. Well, thank you both once again and have a great evening. Everyone else, however, I'm not saying goodbye yet. We got to jump into a huge C West matchup. Team Rainbow Strike Go versus Cool Cats and Kittens. I believe this was a rematch of a playoff game last season in C West. I think it was the finals, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, stick around for it. These are two great teams in the C division. My two favorites in the division. So we're like, by the way, this shirt's nothing ominous. I didn't have anything else to wear. I'm not like ending anything tonight. This is a shirt I had from when Pat White played his last game at WVU in football. Just because someone messaged me like, "Is this your last cast?" No, I'm casting it on Thursday. But we'll be right back. Stay tuned.